So, yeah, no would be the thing you would be saying if you're a Liverpool fan. You'll be cheering if you're a Wolves fan. Getting the winner at the end of this. Wins have not come easily to Wolves at the bottom of the table right now. But doesn't that just tell you how things have been for Liverpool this season? What a damaging defeat that is against the side that are bottom of the table in the Premier League. Here's how things are looking at the top half of the table. Liverpool in 5th outside the top 4. And that's after 29 games played, as we welcome in Frank Leboeuf to talk more about this. And we will hear from Frank in just a moment. But first of all, Stevie, we've got to get your reaction on that.
I mean, the first half was pretty forgettable. Second half, the positive thing I would say is that there's no question Liverpool went for the game, dominated the ball. But dominating the ball and doing something with it and creating chances and scoring goals are two different things. And today, they did neither of those things, really. I said in the highlights there, the final pass, the final decision was horrible. And when you are defending champions and when you are trying to get in the Champions League, going forward, putting the opposition under pressure away from home, dominating the play, isn't enough. You have to take the other step and create clear chances and score goals, particularly against a team who are bottom of the league and who are going down. And it's not acceptable to lose in the way they did to Wolves. Wolves had 2 shots on goal. They scored 2 goals. So not only talking about going forward, where in the final third, the final decision, the final pass was just horrible. And the one we showed in the highlight with Mo Salah, although he scored a goal, the goalie should have saved it. And he really didn't contribute anything again all evening. I could sit here for the next 10 minutes and tell you everything that went wrong for Liverpool. But it's actually just... tonight's a microcosm of what's been happening all season. Poor decision making, not creating enough, front players not doing enough, front three done pretty much nothing much tonight at all. And then defensively you lose 2 goals from a team that has 2 shots. So it's just another game in the season that Liverpool are having that has turned out the same.
What's your biggest concern from what you saw from Liverpool tonight, though?
My biggest concern is that it doesn't matter who Liverpool play against. They can lose. That you know, it's one thing to talk about big games in a season, playing Man United or Man City or Arsenal or in Champions League, playing Real Madrid and Barcelona. But when your team is stepping on the field, regardless of the opposition, and you are not sure what you're going to get, that's not what's acceptable at a club like Liverpool. It's not acceptable.
The most 90th minute goals conceded in Premier League history for Liverpool right now, after today.
Again, it's not a surprise. It's been happening all season. And initially, at the start of the season, we thought, OK, they'll sort it out, it'll calm down. But it hasn't. You know, they've continued to, as a unit, not be effective. They've continued to give sloppy goals away, like today. And again, back to what I said 30 seconds ago, it really doesn't matter who the opposition are. Everybody that plays against Liverpool knows they're going to get a chance and knows that they're probably going to score.
Even the team that had only won 2 in the Premier League.
Even the team that had only won 2 all season.
Yeah.
All season.
I wish people at home, or those listening to the podcast, could feel this disappointment emanating from Stevie right now. It's a frustration mixed with acceptance that, well, this is just who we are. And it's such a difficult place to be given the success of this very same team last season. It's hard to explain on a weekly basis, as Stevie has to do, why things continue to go wrong. But if you just watch this game today in particular, and you didn't know about their struggles over the course of the season, it would be easy to understand why they have been so inconsistent. Their inability to complete passes with precision in the final third, their inability to move ahead of the ball, and once they get into tight areas, that those quick combinations actually amount to anything productive. Their inability to make the correct decision when they're isolated in 1v1 situations in wide areas. Take somebody on, please. Somebody get the ball and get after a defender. And it just doesn't happen. They turn away from it and they pass the ball backwards. And then how vulnerable they are to one or two passes being completed out of pressure by the opposing team, and now Liverpool are depending on Konate or Van Dijk or somebody with a sliding challenge filled with desperation to try to salvage something. This team is far, and I don't have to say this to Steve because he knows it, it's far from what the expectations were coming into the season. And now that the expectations have changed.
What if I told you Liverpool might be entering the transfer market not for a flashy winger, not for a superstar forward, but for a midfield warrior who runs, tackles, and destroys attacks like a machine? Haha, yeah, Reds, this rumor has people talking. Because according to fresh reports, Liverpool are now monitoring Bournemouth and USMNT midfielder Tyler Adams. And guess what? Manchester United and Chelsea are sniffing around too. Oh yeah, when rivals want the same player, things can get spicy real fast. Alright, welcome back, Reds, and let's break this down because this story is actually more interesting than it first looks. Tyler Adams, 27 years old, captain mentality, relentless energy, and one of the most aggressive ball-winning midfielders in the Premier League. After returning from injury recently and making a few appearances again for Bournemouth, suddenly the radar lights up. Manchester United are looking because Casemiro's future looks uncertain. Chelsea? Well, Chelsea are always looking. But Liverpool? That's where things get interesting. Because if you've watched Liverpool this season, you know the conversation. Balance in midfield, control in transitions, someone who can hunt the ball, break up attacks, and allow the creative players to do their magic. And Adams? That guy runs like the game owes him money. Tackles flying in, pressing non-stop, chasing everything. Ho, he's the type of player who brings chaos to the opponent and calm to his own defense. Now here's the catch. Analysts have pointed out something important. Passing range, distribution under pressure. Those are areas where Adams is not considered elite compared to some other midfield targets across Europe. Some experts even compared him to players like Manuel Ugarte. Fantastic defensively, but sometimes limited when building play. And in a Liverpool team that likes fast vertical passing and creative build-up, that's something the recruitment team would absolutely analyze. But here's the flip side that makes this rumor fascinating. Liverpool don't necessarily need another deep playmaker. They already have players capable of progressing the ball. What they sometimes lack in certain matches is pure defensive bite, that relentless ball winner who stops counterattacks before they even start. And Adams does that all day long. Non-stop engine, tactical discipline, big game mentality. And speaking of Liverpool's transfer strategy, the club is also being linked with attacking talents like RB Leipzig winger Jan Biamande, who has been lighting up the Bundesliga with goals and assists this season. Reports say the 19-year-old could cost around 80 million euros, and Liverpool see him as a long-term attacking option if moves for bigger names like Michael Olise become too complicated. So what does that tell us? Liverpool are planning carefully, not just reacting, planning. And that's what elite clubs do. They look at balance, attack, defense, depth, rotation, future potential. Maybe Tyler Adams becomes part of that equation, maybe he doesn't, but the fact Liverpool are exploring multiple options across midfield and attack tells you something very clear. The club is building the next evolution of this team. And honestly, imagine a Liverpool midfield with relentless pressing,
fast transitions and players who can recover the ball instantly. Ah, that's the kind of energy that turns Anfield into chaos for opponents, and we've seen it before. When Liverpool press together, when the engine is running full power, when the crowd feels that intensity, yeah, that's when magic happens. So now I want to hear from you, Reds. Would Tyler Adams be a smart signing for Liverpool? Is he the kind of defensive midfielder this team needs, or should the club go for a more technical playmaker instead? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's get this debate going. Smash that like button and subscribe for more Liverpool transfer updates and reactions, because when it comes to Anfield, the story never stops. YNWA.